And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050, WTKA, online at WTKA.com. So, look, folks, I don't know if people understand this mock draft thing correctly, Ira. The reason why I say that is I think
because some are picking you to lose.
Well, yes, they must not if they're picking me to lose, they don't understand how this works.
Because you're supposed to pick Sam no matter what.
Well, that's not the case. But if you understand how this works, then you pick me. It's just really that simple. You aren't necessarily comparing position group to position group. You aren't looking at my wide receiver group versus Marcus's wide receiver group. My wide receiver group is superior, but that's not how you're doing it. You look at wide receiver group versus his defensive back group. How does that work out? Offensive line group versus defensive line group. How does that work out? And if you look at these matchups, I don't know how you pick Marcus Ray. All right? Don't know how you pick Marcus Ray. But at any rate, we got a little audible we want to call really, really quick, as a great friend of the show has called us to give us our weekly update, this time on Michigan softball. Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins. Hutch, good morning.
Oh, Sam, I'm sorry I'm late. I've been playing with the weatherman this morning.
Don't worry, we love you. So we give you a pass, Coach. We love you. All right. So especially when you beat the tar out of Ohio State like your team did last week, it was an impressive set down there in Columbus, to say the least. For folks that didn't follow, it was in a 3-game set. Michigan outscored Ohio State 46-2. Coach, now I know you can always find things to tell your team, hey, you need to work on that, but I don't know. It seems like it's kind of hard after that kind of performance.
Well, honestly, we were all on, and we've got a great habit of, being all on or all off, but we're on more than we're not, and we took advantage of their pitching. But the message is keep moving forward, because when it comes down to getting to where we want to go, we're going to have to beat a really good pitcher at some point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Coach, speaking of pitching, in that first game, Megan Betts, I wonder, how good that performance compares to some of her best performances you've seen her have. Because she was dominant in that game, 14 strikeouts. I think that was a career high for her in that contest.
I think it was a career high, and most impressed me to only one walk. And Megan does. She spins the ball as good as anybody, and she spins it the best on our staff. And so sometimes that ball, it's hard to control it because it just breaks and breaks out of the zone. So I'm most impressed that she was able to do that and not give them free bases, because that has been an issue, and she's really stepping up, and she's got the makings of what could be an elite pitcher, and we certainly we just have to keep working one day at a time.
All right, so Coach, you go to the next game, and again you're on fire once again. This time 13-1, as you took them out in a 5-inning contest. And Kelsey Susala, we can talk about her every week. She went long for you again. Of course, the Sierras were on fire too.
Well, again, that's, when you're talking about the heart of our order there with, Sierra Lawrence batting 1 and Romero at 3 and Susala at 5. And, again, Susala is just my favorite success story of the year. She's just worked hard and worked her way into the lineup, worked her way into our outfield, and we count on her. And she just shows up every day.
All right, and so, Coach, I know you well enough to know by now. In this last game, you're just complete. You blanked Ohio State. It was 20-0. We can talk about a number of players from that contest, but to me, the thing that stuck out about that game is victory number 1400 for Carol Hutchins. So, Hutch, congratulations on that unbelievable accomplishment. I mean, it's a feat that I think speaks to all the great players and coaches that you've had come through you over the years.
Well, I think that's exactly right. It's a reflection of the entire program and all the people that have been in the program, which starts with, great players and great student athletes. We've had so many of them. And, of course, I've got great fortune in having such a great staff, and over the years I've had nothing but great people. But with Bonnie Thole and Jen Brundage in particular have been with me a long time now. We've got the most consistent staff in the country, and any head coach will tell you you're only as good as your staff. So it's a reflection of our staff and our program, really.
We're talking to Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. Now, Coach, got a question from a fan that noticed, obviously, the absences of Lauren Sweet and Sarah Driesinga, and they wanted to know what's their status. Where do things stand with them right now?
Well, Driesinga has had a naggy rib injury, and it's in a bad spot. It's hard for her to torque her body. So she is still out indefinitely, and her improvement is very, very slow. Sweet sprained her ankle against Kent State, and we are hopeful that she's on the end of this injury, and I'm hoping that she'll be good to go very shortly. But we have yet to see. She hasn't been able to get behind the plate in a squat, but she's swinging a bat now, and she's coming along. So we expect her back shortly. All
right. Well, Coach, obviously the beat keeps on going. Your team keeps on rolling. Midweek affair yesterday against Western, and had it going once again. And this time Haley got it done in the circle for you. Struck out 10 yesterday.
She had a nice game. She really the sixth inning she lead off walk, and then she just didn't shut the door the way I would have liked. But other than that, she had 6 really great innings, and I don't know, at least 1 to 3 innings in a row, which is that's big. And we were pretty quiet. Our bats, I wondered if we'd run out of runs over the weekend, because we didn't score a run until I believe the 4th or the 5th, and kind of quiet at the plate. Their pitcher kept us off time a little bit, but so our pitching kept us in the game until we could get something going, and we put it together and had a 6-run 5th inning, I believe, and that was pretty much the story.
All right, so that set the table for Iowa to come to town tomorrow for a 3-game set. The Hawkeyes going to be over at the Wilpon Complex, 4 o'clock tomorrow, and then on Saturday, 2 o'clock, and then Sunday at 3 o'clock, folks. So tickets still available. Be sure to make it out to support the Maize and Blue. Coach, tell us what the Hawkeyes bring to the table.
Well, I think, first of all, we are, as I said, I was talking with the weatherman before I called in. We are in the midst of changing our game times against Iowa.
Okay.
The weather forecast tomorrow has a real feel of 20 at game time. Big Ten rules don't even allow you to think about playing until it gets to 28. So we are not going to play on Friday, and we are putting together a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday series.
Okay.
Monday is, of course, the nicest day of the weekend. And game times will stay 2 o'clock Saturday, 3 p.m. Sunday, because we're on the network. And then we're shooting for what would be either a 2 or a 3 o'clock start on Monday. I'm still evaluating whether we could start as early as 2. But, the weatherman is not very kind to us right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to muddle through it and find a way to get our games in. And Iowa is a team that stands in your way. They can swing their bats. They've had a lot of high-scoring games. Sounds like they're, in the circle they've had some struggles, and hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of that. But, again, we'll be focused on Michigan and just having good at-bats and pitching well and playing good defense and playing the game of softball.
Okay.
But Iowa's a team that stands in your way, as every opponent does.
Coach, can you run that schedule down one more time for the folks?
I would say that, and again, the schedules change according to temperatures, as people need to be on their alerts if they're coming out this weekend. But Saturday, 2 p.m., Sunday, 3 p.m., and then assuming we don't get a chance to add it as a doubleheader Sunday, if the weather isn't good enough, we'll go to a Monday afternoon start, approximately 2 or 3 p.m. That has not been determined yet.
Gotcha.
And as soon as they know, we will announce it here as well. So you can follow at UMich Softball, at Michigan Insider, at SamWeb77. We'll make sure that everybody knows the schedule for the games this weekend.
Absolutely. All right. And, Coach, we can't let you go without you giving us another plug for the Softball Academy and how people can get involved.
Well, the first thing they can do is go to msoftballacademy.org and sign up. Again, fundraising starting to pick up, so I haven't had a chance to see how WTKA is doing this morning.
Well, Coach, you know how we are, though. We sit.
Sam's a procrastinator. He's going to tell you.
It's not. Listen,
he's going to sell it, but it's called procrastination.
It has nothing to do with procrastinating. I am surveying the area, seeing what others are bringing to the table, because we come through. It's like a crescendo. We build up. to our effort, and then we let it all out as we get close. Because Coach, this is what I've learned about that competition. You have some really, really fierce competitors that like to drop some big ones on us at the end. So I've learned to prepare my team that way.
Well, as in my sport, it's a 7-inning game. It doesn't matter if you wait till the 7th to score all your runs.
There you go.
Outscore your opponent. So let me help you out with that.
That's why I love you. That's why I love you. Exactly.
The event is coming together very nicely. The committee's doing a fantastic job of getting some great auction items. We, as you know, Adidas is sponsoring us this year, and so to each level of fundraising, there'll be some Adidas gifts. Some pretty cool. My favorite being the Energy Boost Maize and Blue running shoe that I wear to coach in, and they are my favorite pair of shoes ever. Comfortable and, beautiful, Maize and Blue. But all sorts of great tchotchkes that people can earn by fundraising. So we're pretty excited about that. I think the people participating will really enjoy that aspect. And, of course, we are moving the Afterglow. The silent auction will be up at the Jack Ross Suites because we need more space. The Young Center proved to be just not quite big enough anymore. So that bodes well for folks who want to only join us for the auction. They do not have to sign up to participate, although, as you and I know, that's really the fun of the whole event.
Yeah, I think it's all a blast. Whether you do one, the other, or both, Coach, it just is a really fulfilling experience for a great cause. msoftballacademy.org. Again, msoftballacademy.org. Get signed up, and, Coach, you say it all the time. If you don't have a team, you'll find them a team, right?
We'll make sure we've got the free agent system going on, and everybody will be placed accordingly.
All right. Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking the time with us today. Good luck this weekend, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, thanks. That's with the sun to come out, eh?
Yeah, I hear you. All right, Coach.
All right,
that was Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins. Great of Hutch to get with us. I thought we were going to miss her this week. She got us in, so we appreciate that. We have to get to a break. Back on the other side with the MGO Blog Roundtable here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA Ann Arbor, a Cumulus station.